Voila. Welcome to the hang Tuesday night. Welcome, welcome. My name is my new stage name is Baloney Jones. I like Oscar Mayer Baloney Jones. So, welcome to the Baloney Jones show. That's horrible. Oh my God. I'm already making myself laugh. Welcome everybody to the Tuesday night hang. Welcome fish heads and fish heads to be. And we're excited tonight, like every Tuesday when we come on here. This is episode 57, like the 57 Chevy. So this is episode 57, and I appreciate everybody tuning in. Tonight we have a wonderful show. We have the Thrasher Festival tonight. We have, Lucas Thrasher, Ted Thrasher, and Jimmy Thrasher. And if you're not familiar with these guys, you're going to be, because these guys make everything happen in the Billy Joel camp. We hung out with them here, getting on about 10 minutes ago, and they'll be here in a second. They're hanging with us in the wings. But I just wanted to say hello and thank everybody for your support and for logging in tonight. Wouldn't be a Tuesday without everybody. And that being said, it would definitely not be a Tuesday without my left-hand, right-hand man from LaGrange, Illinois. What's up, Stephen Wright? What's happening?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
What's happening? You got the red kimono going on tonight.
Well, when there's more than two Thrashers, you have to dress up. That's the rule.
I got the ice cream shirt on tonight. I'm selling ice cream. Italian ice is on the corner. That's what I'm selling.
Hey, at least it's on the corner, not the corner.
On the corner.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking about the corner.
Yeah.
Our JG corner store fish heads guys, are they hanging out tonight with us yet? If not,
I'm sure
give them a shout out.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to be here in the chat soon if they're not yet.
They've been hanging with us hard. They're good guys, man. So.
Yeah. One of them just started playing trumpet this week.
I know. I apologize to his parents.
It's your fault, man.
It's always my fault. Trust me. Just ask anybody around me.
Oh, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Speaking of trumpets, you had a big day, right?
Yeah, it's been a trumpet day, man. I started at 5 a.m. this morning and went over to Titusville. Mims is the town, but over in Titusville, very close to Cape Canaveral, is where the Warburton Musical Products, where to make my trumpets are. So we went over there this morning, play tested some 4 horns that we put together. The CF horn they put together for me a couple years back, and we had quite a bit of orders, so we put 4 together. 3 of them were spoken for, I believe, and there's going to be 1 that's up for grabs. So they played great. We did some play testing, and every couple months when we put them together, I go over there and go through them, and they're in the raw stages, so it's kind of cool. If it needs any tweaking or whatever, we can tweak them without messing the finish up. So today, all of them are great. They got the green light out of all the horns. They got the green light, so now they're going to clean them up and send them off to the platers. And so that was fun, and that was like I said, on the East Coast. Mm-hmm. You've been over there with me, right, Stephen?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's always fun.
Many times.
Yep.
So shout out to Terry Warburton, Kim, and Johan Warburton and Kim. They keep us honest and make the merchandise really good stuff, man. I'm very happy and proud to have the association with those guys and girls.
Yeah, and I think this one's interesting because, if you're new to the stream, with Carl's horns, one thing that we do is he actually goes and personally play tests every single one of them. So he puts all of his COVID right in the horn.
Yeah, I'm going to get you sick right away.
Yeah.
Whether it be mentally or physically. But then again, you got to be mentally or physically sick to blow on something to make a living. That sounds horrible. I'm blowing something to make a living.
If we don't make the joke, someone else will.
Exactly. That being said, too, on the way back, blowing across the state, I end up stopping in Orlando area and seeing our buddy Ricky LaPointe Chainsaw. Hung out with Ricky today for a couple hours, so that was good. He's looking good, and so Ricky was Chainsaw was making me laugh. We had a good little visit. So it was a busy day, and now I get to hang out with you
Yeah, man.
The fish heads, and man, the Thrasher Fest. I'm excited about these guys.
Yep.
You've come across them. You've come out a few times and seen these guys at large. I'm sure, right, Stephen?
Oh yeah, they're never standing still too long though.
Yeah.
So no, but it's good.
Guys.
Yep. But it's our first show out of 57 episodes where all 3 guests are on the same location.
Very cool.
So
very cool.
So duct tape and glue will hold us together.
Yeah. Well, I think part of that too is Jimmy has the technology, and from what I understand, Teddy has a nice house. So
there you go.
I'm sure they all have nice houses, but but they're all hanging out. So with no further ado, I might as well talk about these guys before we bring them on, huh?
Let's do it. Let the shenanigans begin.
Yep. And before the shenanigans starts, I'm gonna.
What was that word?
Just preface. Shenanigans. Did I slur it, or was it a?
No, I think it was a gremlin.
Was it a web? No, yeah. Was it a web list?
Yeah, I think it was a gremlin.
So, 2 things very important. Everybody who's joining us, whether it be new or new people hanging with us, or old people hanging with us, not talking about age, please chime in and say hello to Stephen and everybody, the Thrashers and myself, and have any questions or comments, lay it on us. Stephen is good at dulling the information out because I can't see it that well. So, but please be a part of this hang with us. And the other thing is, we have a baseball game on tonight.
Uh-oh.
So there might be periodic scores happening if anybody wants to know. I lost. Yeah, there might be periodic scores happening sometime tonight.
Yeah.
All I can say is Boston right now is up 3-0. I'm not really happy with that. Anyway,
I got to figure out how to put the scores on the screen. It's be able to fly them in like locals on the 8s. We'll do weather on the top.
Yeah. Yeah, but you got no. Never mind. I'm gonna leave that one alone. So you don't look like a weather girl.
Yeah, I got a green screen. That's all that matters.
You got a green screen. Yeah, I know. Well, speaking about just guys that make it happen in any type of condition. When I first joined the band actually rehearsing in the band in 2005, I went out to a converted car lot where Billy Joel was rehearsing. He had the crew there. And I remember walking in and seeing a couple of young guys, and like you said earlier, these guys never stopped moving around. They were running around. And, I was like, the young guys. And with our crew, it's a pretty seasoned crew, would be a nice word to say. Guys and girls have been there a long time. Loyalty is a beautiful thing in this organization. Goes both ways. So I seen some new blood, young guys, and turns out it was 2 out of the 3 brothers. And immediately I started laughing. I immediately hit it off with these 2. And so tonight we have Lucas Thrasher. He is our head teleprompter. So all the words all the lyrics and words that we have on our screens, that is Lucas's gig. And he's also one of the top carpenters out on the tour, which takes care of the stage and stuff like that. So he'll get into some of that stuff. And then secondly, we have a gentleman, he's his brother, T.Ë.T.I Thrasher, is he's our Chuck Berge's drum tech, and Crystal Teleferro's percussion tech, and he also helps her out with saxophones. And he's just a generally great guy. He's very musically inclined as well. I think the whole family's musically inclined. I got to ask them about it. And then last but not least, we have following up in the back, which is you always save the slick guy. It's always the third guy. He's also the youngest too in the family. Jimmy Thrasher. He's out now with us, and he's doing some carpentry work with the tour. He's also like our computer guru out with us. We all have issues with computers, obviously, and he's just wonderful. And he actually is a wonderful teacher too at the Berklee School of Music up in Boston. Boston. What? Huh? Look, there's a Yankee. I'm sorry. Up in Boston. And, you know, he's the learning media developer. Say that really fast 3 times. Learning media developer.
You did
I
good.
could do it twice. Yeah.
look
Well,
at you.
you know, it's early. So anyway, these guys are just, not only are they great at what they do, they're great people. And without further ado, let's say hello to the Thrasher Fest. What's up, guys? You there?
Hello.
Yo, how you doing? Hey, Carl.
Baloney Jones.
Baloney!
Baloney Jones.
Is that a name, right? That should be my new name, I think.
That works. That works.
You
Yeah.
know, baloney. You know, I heard if you smell like baloney, your liver is going into failure. I heard.
Well, that's not good.
That's not what's happening, is it?
No, but I had a friend that smelled like baloney all the time. Yeah, and his liver was gone. His liver was shot. So,
Oh my God.
yeah, it's not good. So,
No.
how are your livers doing? How's everybody doing tonight?
We're good, man.
We're good, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Oh, my
we
my
really
pleasure,
appreciate
man. Thanks for coming out, man. We're at Teddy's house tonight, huh?
This is my house. This is my living room.
So how did a plane flew through your freaking living room? I see a freaking, you know, come on. What is this? You on a runway or something?
I'm into airplanes. I love airplanes, history of airplanes. And that's something that I was doing in the pandemic. I was flying them.
Really?
I was starting to take lessons and such. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That was my housewarming gift from my father. So
Very cool. Let's just talk about your dad for a second to get it out. Your dad is the ubiquitous Boomer Thrasher.
bigger than life for sure.
He was, his exact title would be production manager, right?
Production.
Yep, that's correct.
Not just for Billy. I mean, he's been, how many years has he been with you, with Billy now? Was it 40 or close to 30?
81, 82. Innocent Man, I think, is when he started.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yep.
Innocent Man. All right, so that's a long time. And obviously, Bruce Springsteen. I know Sting. Everybody knows Bobby Thrasher, Boomer. And if you don't, you need to check him out. All you do is have to pull up any touring thing in the last 30 years, and pretty safe bet. Would you say, guys, that your father's name is in there somewhere?
He's been everywhere, man.
He knows what to do for sure.
Yeah.
But let's just talk really quickly too, because I don't want to not address the two people in your family. Probably the smartest and the prettiest is your mom, Susan,
Yeah.
and Megan.
He's a sweetheart.
So hopefully they're hanging out with us.
Yeah.
If she's watching.
I think so.
Good. Hopefully keeping your father in line, which I'm sure is not.
That's a
easy.
hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Manager at heart for sure.
Yeah, she's the one that's really taking care of everything, right?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Oh man. God bless. God bless. So I'm just gonna jump in. I'm just gonna hit you guys with a couple questions because, you know, we know each other a long time. But I always, whenever my friends come on, I learn a lot. And so, you know, I like to bring it back to very simplistic things, just because we don't talk simple when we hang out. We're always, you know, it's always a consolidated thing where we're trying to get the gig happening first, obviously. So let's just back up for a minute. I'm going to jump all around. Since Lucas is the oldest, Lucas, what was when you first started to gig, whether it be with your dad or not, what was your first job on a gig, whether it be a Billy gig? You remember like going out, and what was your responsibility out there?
Well, the very first time I officially went out to work with Billy, and Billy was the first person I worked with, I was a carpenter. Basically, that's what I started in with. We had a larger stage back then, so there was actually 5 of us.
Okay.
And,
What year was that, Lucas? You remember?
I think it was 02.
2002. Wow.
Yeah, 2002. And then I remember when you came on and we were at the car dealership because
05.
05, right? That was the first time I started doing the teleprompter as well. I had papers all over the place that you couldn't find the things online like you can now, man. So I'm listening to the songs. There's still errors in there, man. You know?
I remember the books and the papers because I
Right,
remember.
I had them all over the place.
And I remember that too, because you were fresh on, and I was like the new guy too, and I had a million charts, and they were paper charts. They weren't in my iPod. So both of us, I remember one day we're like both going through our papers, like, oh my God, there's a lot of
Right,
stuff.
man. Right.
Wow. So 05 was when you took over doing the teleprompters.
Yes.
Wow, very hip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to throw the same question at Jimmy, man. So, what your first recollection of a gig, and what was your, were you running around taking care of business? Because you're always running around. All you guys are running around.
Of course.
I see you like you're like running like crazy all the time lately.
Yeah. So I think my first gig was in 2007, summer 2007.
Okay.
With Billy. I definitely experienced a lot of tours with Dad before that, going out on summer vacation and spending 6 weeks.
Talk about that. Let's talk about that. Go back, man. This is interesting. I love this.
So yeah, my first tour that I really remember is spending 6 weeks at the Meadowlands with Bruce Springsteen and Pop. So whole 6 weeks I was there.
The mayor of the Meadowlands, right there. Right there.
Yeah.
That's what they call. Yep. That was his first gig.
First gig.
Wow.
Yeah. But I've been
That's
just
beautiful.
doing Billy, and I did Billy and Elton as well.
Yep.
Since about 2007.
Okay. Cool. That's awesome, man. I love that story. And of course, my man Ted Rowe. When you, if I remember right, was Jeff doing Chuck's drum teching
yeah.
gig in 05? Remember Jeff
Yeah,
Jonas?
I was,
Jeff Jonas, right?
I was doing carpentry before that, correct. And just before Europe, I mean, Jeff Jonas is a legend in his own right. He does Ringo Starr, and Ringo was doing a tour that summer, so he needed to find a replacement. And what's funny, I guess I was working with Billy a long time ago. Old drum tech Dave Hoffbauer. When we would go out with my pops out on the road, check it all out. You put on that laminate. You felt like you were working anyway.
Yeah.
And like I've been doing, I remember cleaning cymbals, crystal cymbals back when I was like 6-7 years old, up on stage.
Really?
Doing all that stuff,
You were auditioning for the gig at that
I
point.
guess so. I guess so. And then during I think it was the 12 Garden shows is when Jeff came in and said, "Do you want to do this and take over for me for a little bit?" And he taught me everything I know. So
Well, that's how that happened. Jeff actually said, "Will you take over for me for a little bit?" Wow.
fill in for me,
Cool.
and then he taught me everything he knows, and he knows a lot of stuff. So I'm very happy that happened. So and then
Oh man.
now I get to work with Chuck and Crystal, which is two amazing people, and I couldn't be
Great
happier.
people, yeah.
Couldn't be happier.
That's awesome. Well, actually, that leads me to my next question, and it's for you, Teddy. So, did you find, what was the evolution as far as you going from carpenter, and the same thing would be for both you brothers too, man? How did you start when you're really young? Obviously, Teddy, you're polishing cymbals, and you're looking at different things, different job descriptions on these gigs. How did it? I know it's a natural progression, so to speak, but was it something that was a stigma in your head? Like, if I was to do this gig full time, I'd like to be a drum tech, or I'd like to be, the computer teleprompter really got me interested. How did that? Is that something that you guys was planted?
Well,
was a seed planted in your head, or it just kind of developed?
Well, just growing up with my dad doing this thing, it was the biggest and best thing you could possibly imagine. Because when we traveled around with him, it was just it's Disneyland.
Yeah.
You put that pass on and you thought you were the coolest guy, coolest kid in the world.
Yeah, he brought us out a lot.
Yeah.
He brought us out a lot.
Until you pass out on a road case at 6:30 before the show starts. I mean, we were.
Throw you in a hamper, chainsaw whips you around and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll remember that stuff.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
Sean Fox, throwing me in swimming pools. All these people that we work with now, and like I'm 38, Luke's 40, Jimmy's 33.
Yeah.
We've known all these guys that we work with now forever. So they're all
Family.
to us. We
got
love them
Uncle
very
Vinny.
much. Uncle
Yeah.
Vinny,
Yeah.
Bag of donuts.
bag of donuts. So evolution is just, seeing what happens. And with drums, with me, I mean, I've always had drums. I've always been tinkering with my own drums and guitars and stuff.
Well, I know you're a guitar player. You're still playing guitar, and you like to sing.
Yeah.
But so did you? because your dad and I always talk about like Stan Kenton and a lot of the big bands. What was your first draw musically? Was it you wanted to play guitar? How'd that happen? Because I know everybody dabbles in different things. I play saxophone. I shouldn't.
We all play guitar. We all.
Oh, really?
Play guitar.
Yeah, I had no idea. Really?
I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, Lucas used to a little bit. And in high school, we were all in show choir. I don't know if you know what that is. So we were little dancers. And
Went like this. Show
You got it.
No, but that introduced us to a whole bunch of musicals. But my father has never been a rock guy.
Sure.
So
Yeah, Frank Sinatra.
yeah,
That kind of stuff.
yeah, middle school.
Dan Kenton, Sinatra, all the cats.
There you go.
So
But he always brought home little tidbits, like a guitar every once in a while he'd bring home.
yeah.
And we'd mess around
Really?
with that. And that's really how we got into making music ourselves.
Yeah. So, and he's always been supportive of it. So, my dad can sing too. He sings us "Happy Birthday" every year.
Really loud.
Yeah.
Really loud.
That's great, man. Well, it's good that nothing scared you guys, because a lot of people who I know in the industry too is like, I just do this, or I just very, very stylistic, not stylistic, very stereotypical. I do this, and they don't move out of the box. And what's amazing with you three guys, especially, and I see this with your dad and everybody who's worked with your dad, can think on their feet. They're like octopuses. Oh, you need this. I can do this. I can do this. And that's why, your father's a wonderful, one of the best production managers in the world. But you guys wouldn't be there if you didn't think on your feet and were adaptable like he is, which is very important. I got to say.
I hope so. I hope that's
I know so.
the way it worked out. Yeah, I hope that's the way it worked out, and we're not just dad's kids. But yeah, we all have our.
You guys all have your own niche, and that's what I'm going to say.
Right, but it's not like you could go to school for this beforehand or anything. So basically, anything you're doing out here is kind of on the job training. I mean, we knew how to do ratchet straps when we were kids, so you got ratchet straps out there. That kind of stuff.
So it's on the gig training, and which is the best school that you could ever have, and you pay your dues that way. And a lot of people in college, Jimmy, you know this, a lot of people in college that go to spend a whole bunch of money in a semester, they don't have any real world music or tech applications. They get to the gig and they're like, you got to multitask 20 different things. So I'm sure that you see that in school, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard. I mean, people want to go into the music industry, and it's challenging, but nothing compares to the real world experience of just going out there and doing it. You learn so much more by doing that, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well,
I will attest that.
Just like what Lucas just said, like we were taking down trees with span sets and shackles and come-alongs when we were 8 years old.
Yeah, we knew what these things were when we were that young.
And we knew how not to use them as well. But yeah, our dad definitely showed us a lot of things out here, especially to be a good person out there, because it doesn't work without that. So
well, you touched on that. We're going to hit that in a second, but let's go back for some of the fish heads that are not technically into the whole, the whole production of it. Let's just, for lack of a better word, for giggles, you talk about ratchet straps and come-alongs. Very, you're out in your yard dealing with that when you're a kid. How does that transcend on a stage? I know how it transcends when you're putting a stage together and you're flying stuff, but give the practicality. People don't realize that your guys are, you have a whole rigging team and you have a sound team, but all these things that you guys learn when you're young are adaptable to the stage, correct?
Yeah. I mean, it's a that's how we hold all our. I mean, I keep talking about ratchet straps all night, but that's how you get packed everything up, and you go to different cities and stuff, and you always got to show somebody how to do something. You got to keep redoing it. It's a big Lego set, man. I mean, after a while, I mean, anything's intimidating at first, but after a while, it just goes together. I don't know.
And vocabulary.
Yeah.
What things are.
I haven't been swearing, have I?
Not at all. It's
Try it,
still
man.
early though, Lucas. It's still early. Damn it.
Well, you talked about on-the-job training, and I think we got that at home
Before we
with
even
all
came
that
out.
stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that
And,
was your schooling.
Learning to listen to the manager
Right.
Yes.
and know that he knows best, and we should probably do what he says.
Do it his way.
Well, that
Right.
being said, yeah, absolutely. And so that being said, though, you might know everything in the world to do with whatever you're dealing with, but people want to be around you. You just hit on that, Teddy. People don't want to be around you. I say musically too, it's the same thing. The gig is probably 70, 80% getting along.
You froze up there, Carl. Just a little bit.
I think Carl froze up on us.
Yeah, I think he did
There he
too.
goes.
So he's probably going to rejoin here in just a second.
Oh, there he is.
Hey,
There he is.
there he
There
is.
you go.
No, I was just saying, you know, you could be, you could know a whole bunch of great things, but if people don't want to be around you, you know, you have to be a gracious person. And you touched on that. All you guys touched on that. And I think that's important, you know.
Well, yeah, we're a family out there, man. I mean, like we said, we've known everybody forever, and even the new people that come on, you know, everybody's got to get along. That's the same thing with any job, really. If you're working in an office with a bunch of people, you got to get along, you know. But that's probably, yeah, it's like 75%. You got to have a
Just
decent sense of
communication.
humor, you
Yeah.
know, that kind of stuff. The rest of it,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's.
And I think we all got that from our dad. He taught us well in how to treat people, and I think that carries over into the job for sure. Yes.
Absolutely. No, that's wonderful. Yeah, you know, it's very apparent that you're only as good as your you know, your crew, and as far as the band goes, and same thing with the crew. You're only as good as the weakest link, and there's no weak links. But not only that, everybody's great people and family. So
Absolutely.
I'm very, very happy to be a part of this with you guys, and I appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. So thank you.
Definitely.
That being said, Steven is Steven still here, or did we lose him already? Did he go?
Well, we don't see him.
I'm gone.
Oh, there he is. Gotcha.
Yeah, no, it's all good, man. We got a bunch of people hanging out with us in the chat here already. We'll say do our hello tour here really quick. Of course, we got the president of the Fish Heads Hang. We got Noah is here. Danielle. We got the Hang Monster Frank Benici.
Nietzsche.
Yeah, got Greg and Brenda in Shelbina, Missouri.
All right,
hanging
Missouri.
out with us. Our great drummer Luis Alicea is hanging.
Poppy.
Yeah, Pete Mann, Lori Collado, James Skitka. What's going on, James? Good to see you. Great musician Sal Giorgiani's hanging out with us.
Sally, one of the
Yeah.
best tenor players of today. What's up, Sal?
Yeah, we got Pavel hanging out with us in Moscow.
Right.
Danielle, I said. Luann Weber's hanging out. Suzanne Barnum. Mike. Mike, I'm going to learn how to say your last name eventually. It's Mike Beachman.
Bleachman.
Beachman. I'm going to learn. Got Elisa and Neil hanging out. Jay's hanging out with us. You guys obviously are familiar with Jay and Nicole. They're both hanging out.
Hi guys.
So yeah, we got a bunch of people hanging out with us already, and had a couple questions coming in already. A couple people are sharing your baseball game scores in the chat as well. So, but yeah, we got questions here that we can hit whenever you want, and
Yeah, throw one out. What the hell? We're there, man.
First one that I see is from, if you guys aren't familiar, there is a radio show on Sundays called Songs in the Attic, that's run by Teddy and Melissa. And Teddy is in the chat. Teddy's also a drummer as well as the DJ for the show. And he's asking if Ted has any insight to the smaller drum kit that Chuck is playing on now.
Smaller drum kit. Well, it's the same drum kit, just minus 12 drums. So
Your back thanks you, doesn't it?
no, it was just getting too loud up on stage, and Chuck's been playing. He plays with Big Shot and a whole bunch of other bands, and when he goes home, he uses a 4-piece kit. I mean, we got a gong drum on the right, but he's just using a 4-piece kit at home, and it's just, he likes to keep everything the same. So yeah, we got rid of a whole bunch of drums, and he sounds amazing on it, and it's just and it just sounds so much better with everything. It's not as loud, so it's easier to pronounce the toms out in the front of house, and everything's just tighter. It sounds great, and Chuck plays them amazingly. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Go ahead, Carl.
I'm just gonna. So when we usually come in anywhere for our friends here on the feed, the band usually comes in around 3 or 4, between 3 and 4 o'clock on most gig days, and sometimes we're privy to if the crew is if they're running a little bit behind. I actually hear Teddy tuning the drums and chainsaw going through guitars, and so I always find it interesting because sometimes I'll think Chuck is on stage, and it's actually Teddy tuning the kit. And so explain to me, I know Chuck hits very hard, and I know you've probably studied him, how many gigs you guys done together, but it's amazing that you have his touch. So explain to me, when you're going through the tuning process to get it close to dialed in on that gig, how's that work? How's that day work for you, Teddy, on that?
I don't know if it's gotten easier just because we have less drums, so I've actually had more time to sit back and tune and get them as close to what way Chuck likes them. I don't ever get them perfect, but
you get them in the
I get them in the zone, yeah, for sure. But hitting them, I know Chuck uses rim shot on the snare, and I don't know how hard I hit them, but I'm hitting it pretty hard. So I try to, replicate that a little bit. But
Sure.
Just getting them in the ballpark, and Chuck always likes to come in and tinker around as well. And
Sure.
we hardly do BR doesn't listen to what I play. He waits for Chuck. So
Sure.
it's him hitting the drum the way it's going to sound during the show.
But you get them really close, which is amazing to me, because I've been on other tours where, the drummer comes in and you still got 45 minutes to an hour of just tuning drums. And tuning drums is like you can tune a fish, but you can't tune a drum. You know what I mean? It's like, I'd rather have a tune a fish.
Well, the Jeff Jonas, I give him a great deal. Just teaching me how to do it and how to manipulate the drum to make it sound good. But Chuck has taught me loads about tuning drums and how he wants to hear them. So.
Oh, good, man. I'm glad we expanded on that. Awesome. I'm going to throw another question, because just by talking, it hits different sensories with me. So now, Lucas, I had always noticed from the beginning with you guys, you and Lamar is he the head carpenter? How does that work with Lamar?
Yeah, he's the head carpenter. Yes.
Lamar. It always amazes me in arenas that you guys, the rigging's going up over the heads, and you guys are setting the stage up in the middle of the arena. So explain the fish heads. Explain to me that, because I always find that interesting, and how quick it goes up, man. Can you talk a little bit about that for us?
Well, it goes up quick because we get a bunch of guys from every city that we're in. We get about 10 guys.
Okay.
It's a Tate stage, so it goes together really quickly, really nice. It's an older Tate stage, but it's awesome. Playing with some other stages, really heavy decks and everything like that. It speeds up the day tremendously, because lighting can do all their stuff, sound can do all their stuff, and our stage is on wheels. So we set it up out in front of the house, and then when it's ready to roll in, we push it in and put it on the marks.
So you guys are totally away from everybody. Sound's doing their stuff. Lighting has already put their rigging up. And which is amazing, because it's like 3 different, or actually with video too, right? You got 4 different things going on at once, basically.
Yeah.
But no one gets in the way. And I always...
Sorry, they're all on top of each other. We get to hang out in front of house and yell at each other.
Yeah.
Right.
And you said Lamar's out of the way, and he's never out of the way. Love you, Lamar.
Oh, we love Lamar. Oh my God, that's great. No, it's I always find it, you know, interesting when I come early because it's like a dance, man. And you know, we're, as you guys will probably say 3 or 4 times on this feed tonight, we're very lucky because at the Garden we have the same union, the same crew all the time, basically, and it's, they know we've done it what 106 times or 104 times now. It's
A bunch.
don't know by now. Should not be there.
There was one time that you came in early just to
There's a couple
watch it
times.
happen.
I
We've come
remember
in
that.
a lot, yeah.
Watching the
A
whole
lot of
thing.
times I will come in and no one will even know I'm in. I'll go way up in the
We're
house.
getting breakfast and stuff.
Oh yeah, well, a free meal. Come on, you know that.
Yeah.
I've snuck in actually in the Garden. I'll go up to where the rigging, you know, not in the rigging, but I'll go way up and watch the whole thing. It's amazing, man. I love it. It's just like it's a very delicate. It's like a little ballerina dance. Everything has its own little place and
Right,
spot
and-
and the whole thing. It's very hip. I love it, man. No, it's
Well,
cool.
it's not always like that because every department gets along so well. It really makes the difference. It's incredibly, incredibly makes the difference.
Yeah, no, it's pretty. You know, I've done many tours, not many, but quite a few that they didn't want to be together, the crew, and you could tell immediately. It's like, okay, this is not. And then the semiology, that's a very big word for a trumpet player, within the crew is very hip. So yeah, no, I love that. So hopefully that answered the questions to our friend Teddy, who has that great show on Sundays, Teddy Melissa. We're glad you stopped in and asked some questions. What else we got, Steven? We have something else we can throw
Oh yeah.
at
Let's
us?
Oh
Yeah.
I had another one. Noah is asking. You guys talked about, you know, how it was getting started and with Boomer and everything, but do you guys each have a memorable experience from working the Billy tour that comes to mind?
Tons.
Yeah.
Very
something
great
right?
memories. Yeah.
Something specific.
Well, for me, which was pretty early on, was Last Play at Shea was definitely the most memorable thing for me. It just felt amazing that we did this thing and all these people came together for those 2 nights. It was awesome.
Yeah.
That was my most memorable for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty hard to beat. Pretty hard to
It
beat.
really is hard to beat.
Right.
But that whole scenario was amazing. But the one moment, I mean, when Paul showed up, but we didn't know that it was happening. But all of a sudden, I saw a skinny guy with white gloves carrying the bass. And
Right.
and this was like, you know, just before the end of the show, and it's just like, oh, it's happening.
Yeah.
And I remember running up to Chuck and saying he's here. It's like, we're doing Let It Be, and he's like, I don't remember that song. It's like, I remember, yeah, but just that was an awesome moment. Yeah.
Wow.
There's lots of memorable stuff that happened. You know, we get
Most of it's funny that probably should stay, but yeah.
maybe.
Oh, there's a lot of funny stuff. Well, actually, let's go on to some of the funny stuff. I mean, because Lucas is always in the hot seat. Not all you guys are in the hot seat, but what amazes me about Lucas is from sound check, which could be, as you know, right, it could be an hour, it could be 2.5 hours. You don't know what we're going to do. We don't know what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And chasing around, you know, sound check could be the whole Beatles Sgt. Pepper record, and you
Right.
have all the words in there, and you're keying it up. We have no idea what we're playing from 1 second to the other, and it's like you're I have to say, man, it's like you're the original jazz musician. You improvise so quick on the spot with just getting the content of the lyrics to everybody that needs them. So that's a wonderful thing, but tell me when it goes wrong, because it doesn't go wrong much, but I know it's not fun when, like, let's say a screen blows up, or
Right.
I mean, how's that? Does that stress you out?
Definitely. I can't even think about, I got to put that stuff out of my mind when I'm doing it. Cause things have gone wrong before. You go to a file, it's not there anymore. I know I've put a song in there and I can't find it.
Yeah.
We had right at the beginning of what we were doing here. We were in I think it was, Toronto, and
Yeah.
I used to just put one screen downstage center.
Yep.
And I've had 2 screens downstage center ever since, because right when Billy got up to sing "We Didn't Start the Fire," the second he was in, like halfway through the first verse, it went down, you know?
Yeah.
So you're sweating, you're trying to run up there, and he stopped. He's like, "Oh, that'll be a train wreck without it." So
Yeah.
I had to get one up there right away. But yeah, I'm praying that the electrical stuff, you know, all that stuff is going to work. And as far as me
Got
getting
it.
other songs in there, you guys play so much during sound check that's not Billy's stuff.
Sure.
So just about any time you guys are playing something, I'll look it up then. And then if you come back around to it later, hopefully I've got it by then. You know?
So you
So
catalog
right
it
after-
then at sound check.
Right. So after sound check, I'm usually putting 5 more songs in there. There's about 950 in there right now.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we've talked. You know, it's great because we're on the same side, and I see you. You know, really focused, especially at sound checks. It's funny because the gig we know what we're going to play pretty much
Right.
all the
Pretty
time.
much.
So pretty much. I mean, occasionally he might do something different, but keeps everybody guessing. But it's funny because at sound check you're really focused, and it's. So having the redundancy of having 2 screens on the edge of the stage now is helping out. Then,
Well,
God
no,
forbid something.
I'll knock on wood. I mean, neither one of them has gone down on a show since. But the time I had just one there, it went
goes
down.
away. Yeah.
You know, that's the whole point. If one goes down, the other one's still there, hopefully. Right?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, and this, you know, I should know this, but I don't. Does Billy have in his piano? I don't think it's on his piano. He don't have a teleprompter inside, does he?
Yeah, I got a little 7-inch screen.
He has a little 7
Cut a
inch.
hole in the top of the piano lid.
Okay, yeah.
Mounted it back in on the harp a little bit.
So
Yeah.
just in case, yeah. I remember though when I first started, you had the book, and Wayne had the book of the lyrics.
Oh, we still got the book.
Yeah.
We still got the book, just in case there's, you know.
So how many tunes do you think are in that, Lucas?
How many songs are in that?
Yeah,
Oh, that's just Billy's. That's Billy's tunes.
Bible. Yeah.
The Bible is
Billy's
Billy's
Bible.
stuff. Yes. Yeah.
People
Yeah.
would love to see
Which
that.
is a
That's cool.
lot of tunes.
Which is
What
a
do you
lot
think
of
it is?
tunes.
Probably what, 120, 130, 200? If you had to guess. I'm just curious now.
I think 130 sounds about right.
Does it? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
Not quite 200, I don't think.
It's a lot easier to carry around a zip file, isn't it?
There you go. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, cool. You know, so I'm going to ask you guys a quick question too, and you know, no pressure on this one, but what? So you're out with your dad, you're a kid. You know, you coming out. Did Boomer nudge you guys in a certain direction? Did he say, Jimmy, I really see that you're a great teacher? Did he say? Did he kind of nudge you into doing a computer thing and Berkeley? How, you know, each one of you guys, was it a gentle nudge or just kind of he left it open for you guys to figure out? How did that work out for you, Jim?
I would say that he always looked at going on tour as a fun thing. Like, it's always a fun thing for all of us and everyone on the tour. It should be something that we enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And if we found a spot that we wanted to learn more about, he always supported us doing that. So whether that's sitting next to Chainsaw during a show when you're 10 and maybe grabbing a guitar off the stage, or like hitting some drums during sound check, or setting up the teleprompter. Yeah. So he always encouraged us doing that. I don't think he ever pushed us.
He
but he
never.
was
So
always-
there it is. He never pushed you. Wow.
No.
No,
Never.
no.
But he wanted us to have fun out there. So we did the things that we enjoyed.
And kudos to all the guys, Chainsaw, Wayne, everybody.
Yep.
I mean, they didn't act annoyed that we were kids running around doing stuff. They always let us touch a guitar, go up and play it. You know,
Yeah.
it was all,
Everyone made us feel special.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
It was nice.
It was.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love to hear that, and that's, you know, for a lot of educators and stuff like that, my dad was the same way. He never pushed me. He's like, you have to play trumpet. You have to play trombone. Yeah. It was, I wanted to. It was fun because he would go out and have fun with his friends and go play music, and his friends would come over and play music. I wanted to be like that. And I notice everybody on a tour, it's everybody gets their gig done. It's always about the gig first, but it's fun. And I think a lot of in the academia, it becomes a thing. Well, you have to have your scale syllabus. You have to know all your 12 major and minor scales, and you have to do this. And it becomes like a gig and a job, and the fun comes out of it. And it's like, well, half the guys, I know, we were musicians because we wanted to meet girls, not because playing scale syllabuses, So it rings true, I think, in every profession, man. If you can't have fun doing it, then you shouldn't be doing it. So interesting. Thanks for that, Jimmy.
Yeah,
That's
well,
awesome.
we've been having a blast. We have a blast. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And after the gig and before the gig.
That's
Exactly.
right.
Fun,
That's
too.
right.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Cool.
It doesn't seem
Steve,
like
how we doing?
You're good, man.
You know what I tell people? I tell people too. The work is to travel sometimes. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
the gig is the gig. It's traveling when you have a bad travel day and you miss your flight, or the bus breaks down, or that's the hard part. So, how are the fish heads doing? How's everybody doing over there, Steve?
Good. We had, you guys kind of talked about a little bit with Lucas was mentioning, the redundancies with a second monitor and stuff. And we had a question in regards to, a lot of the technology, how much redundancy do you guys really have? If a monitor goes down, you've obviously got to have something there. If a laptop running main stage goes down, what do you have set up for Dave Rosenthal? What type of redundancies from a tech perspective do you guys really have in the wings?
Well, I can't speak for David Rosenthal stuff because Michael handles that. I'm lucky enough to do drums, and those are acoustic instruments, and I'm like, yes,
Perfect.
So just
But you've had to change a head.
Yeah, you got
I've had
spare
this-
snares too.
Yeah, I've had to change drum head during the show, but it's not, it's not a deal breaker. The only thing that I ever worry about is a kick drum head breaking.
Mhm.
But that's what the
That's live
training.
music.
That's the training that comes up, and trying to make sure that keeping it up with all the equipment and making sure that it's in tip-top shape. So that never happens.
Mhm.
So that's pretty much it.
And you have an extra of everything.
I've got spares for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For everything. Times over in some cases.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting you're saying that. So, Lucas, you have spares for everything, and then I've seen Jimmy, especially this last summer that we started doing outdoor stadiums. You've, I've seen your computer, and you've helped me with my computer issues. We all know, Stephen, and you both know I have computer issues. But I see a lot of it's now. A lot of stuff is computer driven, so I see you troubleshooting a lot of different systems out on tour. So, how does that work for you?
Well, for me, mostly it's, I would say it's more of like a consulting thing. A lot of people just ask me questions about how they should deal with their own personal stuff. Sometimes it's a little bit more technical. Well, I'll talk to Clavana about some stuff, or but it's more of a personal. I'm there to help everyone on tour to make sure their equipment's up and running, so they can communicate with everyone and make sure they can make it to the next show.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
And so, how does that work when you're back at Berkeley, media developer? So,
So at
explain
Berkeley-
to me your gig over there, man. That's interesting.
Yep. So right now I train faculty on how
Okay.
to build materials for their courses. So I will teach them how to make YouTube videos and how to edit them together with something like iMovie. I might, which is a music or video production software on a Mac, but also train them like best practices on how to write storyboards for their videos, or
Wow.
how to build some like music notation files to post for their class, stuff like that. So it's a pretty wide range of music technology stuff.
Okay.
But my position is mostly to train the faculty so that they can do it themselves, and to make the
Okay.
student experience a little better.
Wow.
And you got
Very
certifications and
Yeah.
all that, like Pro Tools and
Yep.
Logic and all that stuff. He's got the real
The
deal.
stuff that you and I, Teddy, always struggled with, the logic. You and I looked at each other and we were like, huh? Wow.
Logic.
It's funny though that you know you guys are brothers, but you're so different in the way you guys process things. You know, it's really funny, man. That's what makes you guys go around. It's kind of cool. You know.
We're a good team. We're a good team.
Yeah, man, without a doubt. So let's, talking about that. I don't want a question now, but in the back, I want you to guys think about. We're not going to answer the question now, but I want to hear a funny Boomer story. It could be about anything. But before we get to that, I'm sure there's another question out there with our fish heads. What's going on, Steve?
Oh yeah, yep. First of all, we got Chainsaw in the chat saying he's saying that Ted's drums don't break, so there's nothing to worry about there. So. And he also says he says a question for Ted. How did you learn to load the backline truck?
Like little pictures that Chainsaw drew for me.
Yeah.
He drew me pictures so I
That
could
was
load the
nice
truck.
of him for you.
I learned it from watching Pops Chainsaw. Pops is our truck driver.
Yep.
He's the best truck loader there ever has been.
He's 83 years old, Pops, by the way.
Yeah,
And he drives a tractor trailer, right? And he's
Right. Right.
God bless Pops.
Driving him since like the 50s.
Yeah, he in the 50s, he's like, had his first truck driving gig in like 52 or something.
He told me there was like no heater in the cab or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
And he's from Minnesota.
Yeah, he's from Minnesota. So that was cold.
That had square wheels too, right?
Right. It was terrible. Had to go and
It's
crank
like
the thing
Fred
up and start it.
Flintstone.
Right.
Oh, Pops.
That's great. I'm just letting you guys know that apparently the link has been found and the chat is it's going left now. So we got Chainsaw, we got Mark Schneider, we got Jay. So
That's trouble.
Yep.
That's trouble right there.
yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Mark says there's certain buttons that don't need to be pushed during a show.
I don't know what he's talking. What are he talking about,
Oh,
Ted?
yeah.
That's not a story.
No, we're not going to talk about that.
No. No.
Leave it to Mark to throw that out there.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was me, but we'll leave it at that.
exactly. Let's see. We have where did it go here? Megan, check out my baby brothers being so awesome as usual. Definitely a lucky sister. Let's see.
Awesome.
Got John Marshall. John Marshall says I got to tag along with the Thrashers to the Millennium concert at MSG.
That's right.
17 years old, got to meet Billy and watch how they all work. It was really unreal. Can't wait till Billy gets to play at Notre Dame to see you guys again.
There you go.
Hey, John.
Yeah, John is a buddy I graduated with. I used to play guitar with him, and he was, we took the trip to the Millennium concert, which is
Yeah.
another great
In a van. There was like all of us in a van. It was
Wow.
fun.
That was a great one, and we're all scared about the Y2K thing, but
Yeah.
it was an amazing show too.
We weren't working then.
Yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah, we worked like 2 years after that, or
Yeah.
a year after.
That was in New York City at the Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. I joined later, obviously, but I remember that horns. There were a lot of friends, Barry Danini and Ozzy Melendez, John Scarpula. The horn session, they were. Billy hired an extra couple horns for that show. I remember that whole thing of them losing, possibly losing power, and the scares of that, and
Oh, right. Yeah.
that was the Earth's gonna blow up. It's done.
Yeah,
right.
I was like, huh? So you guys were just hanging for that show. That's kind of cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
The confetti fell, and then
And then
Billy
it was,
kept on rocking.
right.
So,
And it was 2000.
Awesome.
and that's another thing too. Like working for Bill, I've never gotten sick of his music. He's still like I'm the biggest fan. It really
Timeless.
is. It's
Yeah.
right. It's timeless and ridiculous. It's just so awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it's
great.
pretty amazing. I find myself, I've been listening to Billy Joel channel now. It's back on the XM, and we're all we hear music all the time, but I learn, like I hear a lyric that I might have not heard live, or I hear a part, a piano part or a drum fill or something that I haven't really heard. I'm like, oh my God. It's just, there's a lot of substance in this music, and it's
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
All right. Well, we'll get Carl back here in a second. But in the meantime, let's see here. One of the questions that I had coming in here, we talked about the redundancies and what happens, if something goes down. Lori says that I can't even keep my Zoom meetings from being frozen. How do you guys manage stuff like that? What would it take for the show to not be able to go on for you guys? Like what would have to fail for the show not to be able to keep going?
Billy's piano.
No, because
Yeah.
we've thrown those. Yeah. Power.
Yeah.
Yeah, power.
Everything else, you're good to
Power
go.
goes.
Yep.
That's probably it.
power.
That's
I'm
great.
sorry, that was a simple question.
Sorry, yeah.
Answer.
No, but this is the stuff that sometimes, being inside of the business, we all take for granted as stuff that's interesting to people, So, but it's
Right.
pretty cool. But Carl, looks like you're back, buddy. You had a thought that you were going through.
No, actually, you guys lost me, but I heard everything. So carry on. It's great. We lost power. I can't keep a Zoom meeting myself, Lori. Lori, I can't try. We got thousands of dollars worth of equipment. I can't stay online longer than a half hour. So I'm with you, girl. I'm with you. So it's all good.
Let's see. Oh, we got the legend, Mr. Harold Smick III, hanging out with us in the chat. Hey, how's it going,
tour
Smick?
manager, and Smick is was our tour manager and front of house sound for Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And he did his 35 plus years and got his gold watch and is now not doing it. He's staying home. So what's up, Smick?
Yep. Chainsaw says a 7.2 earthquake in Osaka stopped the show.
Oh,
So we forgot
but
earthquake.
that happened the night before, didn't it?
It could
The
have.
hotel when that hit, didn't it?
Yeah, I've heard. I mean, that's the most terrible thing I've ever heard happened, and my dad was scared to death about that.
But I think they were. The show probably didn't happen the next day, but I think the earthquake happened. Well, you guys were all in the hotel. Am I wrong?
Yeah,
Because that's the story I heard about Dad running down the stairs.
yeah, you guys hunkered down, played
Right.
cards for 3 days or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
There's no power.
There was no power after that. See, power.
Power.
Power. Power.
Carl, we got one for you here. It's we'll whiplash the conversation a little bit. We have one of the people I know is a young student asking, how important is it for the band members to understand the job of the crew?
It's imperative. It's imperative. Just, it's, your whole life you take care of, you try to play an instrument and you try to get your craft together, and then you realize that it doesn't mean anything if you show up to a gig and everything around you is not that of a professional situation. So, our crew, I could say this from the Billy organization side, our crew makes the show what it is. It's not the band. The band is secondary to the crew. And I really believe that Billy's loyal to the crew because they're the ones that are busting their hump from the first hour to the last hour. We're lucky, man. We show up and get to play our instruments, and they make us look good all the time. So I think it's very imperative to know what these guys and girls are giving and how their day. That's why I like to talk about. That's why we were talking about setting up the stage and having redundancy. All these things are very important, and I think if you're going to be a leader or even a band member, you need to take an account of the production of your show, of how it all comes together, because you can tell very easily. I've been on tours major tours that the production and crew was not happy and not efficient of what they did, and it showed off in ticket sales. People didn't want to go see the show because it wasn't polished, and or the band and crew didn't get along because the band made the crew look bad or the crew made the band look bad. So it's a very, very tight relationship, I think. So they need to understand that. Hopefully that answered the question.
Yeah, definitely. And then vice versa for you guys, if even though you might not be playing an instrument, you obviously have an understanding, especially for the students in the chat, you guys obviously have an understanding of the entire show. So how did that, when you guys first started, was that something that was difficult to pick up on, or?
Well, when I first got into it, like, I'm a little more starstruck, so it was hard to talk and relate to the person that you were, like, my band members. My first tour was right out of high school, Ringo Starr and the All-Star Band, and it kind of went full circle because the guy that I was assigned to was Greg Lake from Emerson, Lake and Palmer, which that was also my father's first tour, was Emerson, Lake and Palmer. So I got to start working with him. So, and I'm 18 years old, all starstruck. I'm like, a little nervous. You can't be nervous out there. I mean, you can have the jitters, but yeah. But with you guys, it's different. It's different. I mean,
well, we're a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, but we're a bunch of assholes. So we all, it's so seamless. Like, we know that you'll do anything for us, and if we mess up, it's not a deal breaker. It's like, oh my God, we're all in this together anyway. So there'll always be a next day, and we'll work on it if something happens, but it's never that way. We're not nervous around you.
No.
Right. And hopefully you guys aren't nervous around us.
No, we hang out, man. My favorite memories, I wish I had the pictures. One of my favorite memories is us in Europe, Teddy, and I just first joined the band in Lucas when we went out with bicycles. We rented bicycles or something. Like, Stockholm or something. It wasn't where it was in Germany. Yeah. Hamburg, and we went out, and I have pictures of us like being the American tourists eating ice cream on bicycles in Germany. I'm like,
sausages and all that stuff. Yeah.
Sausages, yeah. We had a sausage eating contest.
That's one of my fondest memories. It was just after the World Cup, right?
That's right.
So all the riot gear came out. There's line in the streets. There was bottles getting thrown out. We're like, we got to get out of here. So we tuck it into this bar. And like, literally, it was like you heard the door slam behind you and the record scratches. And there's a whole bunch, the lead singer of the Village People, like 30 of them, hairy chest and all leathered. And it's like, we got to get out of here.
And the door shut behind us.
We didn't know how to get out. So, awesome. I mean,
I forgot about that.
That was a great night. So
it was great. Night. I was the Indian. You were the
construction work.
I just pictured that scene in Police Academy.
Oh yeah.
That's right, Teddy. We kept on trying to get out of the place, and it was like
we had to sit there and wait, tucked against the wall, and wait till someone opened the door to get out. So
what was the lighting guy that was with us, Mike? He was crazy. Costa. Remember Costa? We had to calm Costa down. Like, all right, dude, we got to kind of be cool now. We're gonna get killed.
Well, yeah, it was a good time.
That's awesome.
I'm going to throw a question at you guys. It's the same question. Give me a Boomer story without calling a lawyer, as your dad said.
The prompter one's all right.
Well, you weren't there, right?
Since I started doing the prompter in 05 in the car dealership, I've only missed one show, and my dad filled in for me. Because I was out with the police, and Dad filled in for me, and Ted was there, so he'll tell you the story.
I don't know.
I vaguely remember this night. Yeah.
I think it was in Ireland. It was a small like wedding or something.
It was the PK 50 birthday party.
Yes, it was inside, right?
Was that the one inside? It was Ireland.
It was Ireland, and then we flew and you did another show. We had.
Was this the one with the guy from Open for us?
Jamie?
From the Commodores. The guy
no.
from the Commodores.
Oh.
You know the
Lionel Richie.
famous Lionel Richie. Open for us. Was
Lionel
that
Richie was
gig?
playing in another
room, right?
Okay. Yeah, and
That
it was
was
just
a gig,
a
I
small
think.
group of us. We had like Mark Snyder was there because Ricky couldn't make it, and it was Liz and my dad, I think, and Wayno. Those were the only people there. But my father had to run the teleprompter, and he knows what's up. But like, Innocent Man comes up, so it's like doom doom for like 10 minutes because my father can't find Innocent Man. And then, but Lucas labeled it An Innocent Man.
Because the song's called An Innocent Man.
Yeah.
But he couldn't find it.
He couldn't find it. And my dad's yelling at Billy saying, "Where's the words?" And my dad's yelling in the wing at Billy. I was like, "I can't find it." I don't know. It was funny. Mark was there.
And the intro's still going. They're playing the bass
it's
line.
like, I can't read these words. It's like it, and he's that's a good on the road story, I guess.
That search isn't very good.
And then we
Right.
spilled,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
we spilled a whole bunch of cheese on the private jet to wherever we were going. That was fun too. But
All right. I don't know
A
that.
lot of
That's
them are
good.
very
That went over well.
delve into too many of the stories,
yeah,
right?
Understand.
But a lot of the people out that are
Yeah.
listening know the stories.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
yeah. I mean, it was rock and roll. It was rock and roll for a long time.
Yeah, so it was cheese, a lot of cheese, and no words. We'll leave it at that.
Sandra
Cool.
says it was the Gypsy Kings that opened.
That was in Spain, I believe.
That was in Spain, yeah.
Yeah, Sandra.
That might have been PK's wedding. I mean,
That was
PK's
PK's
birthday
yeah.
party.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, PK's 50. He
Mark
turned 50.
Mark knows that. Yeah. We
Mark
made fun of him.
Mark says
yes.
that Boomer just kept yelling from the side, "I'm sorry, Billy."
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
man.
you guys mentioned Emerson, Lake, and Palmer earlier. Megan says that mom and dad got married on the road with ELP.
They did.
Wow.
Keith Emerson played the organ, didn't he?
At the wedding,
Yeah,
yeah.
the wedding.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. Yeah.
There's a
That's some rock and roll
The rock and roll wedding.
stuff there, boy. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
it is.
Yep. Just a brief update. 6th inning, 3-1 Red Sox.
Yeah, I know. Thanks for telling me.
You're welcome.
Punch you right in
Were the Red Sox playing? I forgot.
the Yankees.
Yankees. Oh, it's like coming down to World Series time, isn't it?
Yeah, playoffs, wild card playoffs.
Let's see. Sandra Snyder says her favorite Boomer story is when he fixed a plane.
Oh, that
Fix the plane.
was that the plane that what was that? In order to go into reverse, Dad came up with something about pulling up the ailerons or something so that it would go in reverse backwards, and they've got to fly it like that. And pilot had to hold down the button the whole time as they're flying or something, and he said that was good. Is that the one? Is that the one? Is that the one?
How many other ones could there be?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, there's lots of them, man. There's helicopters landing in the backyard sometimes. Who knows? Who knows?
Oh, that's great.
And you know what's the funniest part is Teddy's learning how to fly.
Right.
I can fly a plane.
Well, when we were like 12 or 14, we thought we were getting like a little gyrocopter for home, right?
Okay.
It
was called Aerobike.
Really?
I got an aero bike coming for you. It's coming in the mail. And we're like, oh man, it hovers. It's awesome. You'll be able to fly it around the property. It shows up and it's like one of those old school like exercise bikes
With
the
air
fan,
resistance and stuff.
with the fan.
I mean, we're stupid for believing it.
Yeah.
But why is he lying to us? I mean, I'm like 9. I'm excited about this stuff.
Yeah.
You were crushed.
I was.
Yeah.
Oh.
Damn it, Boomer.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Sandra
I'll be
says
right
that
back.
was the story. She says that was the one.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Let's see. Carl, we had one. I know it's a little bit off the topic, but you mentioned the Sirius channel being back on. Somebody asked what it was like putting your hour-long special together, and if you enjoy doing stuff like that.
Yeah, it was a blast. I thank XM Radio and Billy and the management for wanting me to do that. And I couldn't have done it with the guy in a red robe there, Steven. Steven and I posted, basically cut and pasted. How many episodes? We probably, at that point, it was probably 40 episodes. Probably 35 episodes.
Yeah, it was a lot.
We went through a whole bunch of the old episodes and picked band members, and David and Crystal and Mark and Tommy and everybody, and we just got, it was proposed to us to kind of do like the hang show on XM, because there was some great positive moments we've had, including tonight. So it was a very fun learning experience for me, because we kind of got to use the footage we had from the show, so it meant a lot. And yeah, we had a great time doing it, and I think we're going to be aired one more time, right, Steven?
Yeah, so the channel itself is going to be on through the month, but the hang is going to be rebroadcast on the 8th at 9 a.m. East, 9 a.m. Eastern.
Okay.
So, and for those that don't know, it's Sirius XM channel 70. So,
and if you get up at 9 o'clock, Steven and I furnish coffee and Cheerios for you.
yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah, you get to watch us eat them and drink them on the camera.
And I'm going to have clothes on.
At least from the zoom up.
But Steven, I don't know about.
The full length kimono comes out.
Oh, Jesus. That's too much information.
You're welcome.
No, and what's nice is we got, now we have the Thrashers here, and we had Mark Snyder and Mike Clavano, and we've had a couple more episodes with some wonderful guests, not just Billy guests, obviously some other music guests and non-music guests, and so we hope to be able to use that in the future down the road with maybe, who knows. We're looking forward to doing something with this footage that we have, because I think there's a lot of great stories. I learned a lot and laughed a lot, so hopefully you guys did too.
Yeah, yeah. One of the comments that I got through an email, and I don't want to obviously toot our horn too much, but one of the comments that we got was how interesting it is to have a lot of those behind the scenes stories that haven't been heard. Some of the stuff you guys have obviously heard on the documentaries and things like that, but over 50 plus episodes, we've had, quite a bit. So I definitely enjoyed doing it myself, but,
Thank you, buddy.
yeah, definitely. I had another one here. Let me find it. I got to go through all the chainsaw and Snyder stuff here.
Oh, I'm sure they're ripping it apart.
Oh man.
Oh,
Let's see.
Sure.
Had one of the other students in the chat asked, somebody mentioned earlier, I think it was Lucas mentioned, that there's not really a school that can prepare you guys for what you guys have had to do on tour. What are some of the things that you would recommend for students that want to get into the non-band member positions, that really put the tours together and make them happen? What are some of those skills that are important that you guys see?
Get with the stagehands. See about your local union, or the Rhino is one of the depending on where you are in the country and stuff. The stagehands that come in and help us out come from all sorts of different companies, and I'm sure they're hiring quite a bit.
Even simpler than that, like community theater, being a stagehand at community theater or something like that.
Yeah, just stagehands.
experience.
Get involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, get involved. We got lucky. I mean, there's a lot of family members in this business, you know. I mean, that's how a lot of union guys come in too. They've got their nephews coming up and stuff like that. But I mean, there's always a way to.
And what's cool about being in a local, at your local arena or in each city doing, you know, theaters, you know, arenas, big gigs, it teaches you, you get put into every different positions. Like, oh, you're on lighting today, you're on sound today, you're helping out carpentry. So you get a well-rounded education pretty much about how things go together. And a lot of those guys, I mean, they definitely know a lot more about all of that stuff than I do. So, you know,
Right.
It's a very good learning thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, you're talking about. Did you guys lose me again?
Just
There
for
you-
a second.
There you are.
Yeah.
And there also is there's Full Sail. There's
Yeah.
there is
Orlando.
a school, but that's not like hands-on training stuff. I don't even know exactly what they do. I just know a few people have gone to Full Sail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. While
And then
while Carl comes back, you know, I'll also mention, you know, just some of the stuff that's really important is just, you know, being organized. You know, some of the intangibles, you know, like just being organized, knowing where to be when, knowing where not to be when. You know, those are those are always, you know, especially when I'm out on the road with Carl, you know, those are all very important things. Let's see, while we're waiting, oh, here he is. Let me drag him back over here in place.
Well, back to that last question, actually. Like,
Yeah.
my father. Okay, let's just take an example from him. My father built forklifts.
Mhm.
That's how my father got into this business.
Uncle
He-
Ted.
Well, yeah, we had an uncle that worked for a circus, and he also worked for ELP. And my dad knew a lot about hydraulics and forklifts and all this other stuff. And my uncle said, "Hey, can you build us an elevator for his stage?"
Mhm.
So, and then he went to Toronto, he built it, and that's how he started his touring.
Yeah, and he was in the local in Montreal for a
Montreal.
few years before he actually
And
or
then,
while he was out
and-
on the road. Yeah.
and how we got with Billy was he was building Brown stages, and then befriended Steve Cohen. So it all, you know,
Mhm.
you just do it.
That's great. And you know, completely different subject, but you mentioned Steve Cohen, and I do want to make a point to shout out the work that he did on the release of that new Scenes from an Italian Restaurant video. Want to make sure we call that out and talk about how great that was too, since you mentioned his name. So, Carl, we got you back.
No sound, buddy.
See ya.
All right. Well,
How's that?
There you go.
Oh,
How
yeah,
you
we
doing?
go.
Hey, how you doing, huh? I took a little vacation. I went to get a hot dog.
Hot dog.
But you know, I didn't lose you guys. You lost me. But so we're talking the positives about touring and everything. But you know me, I always like to be pessimistic sometimes too. Was there a time in your career when you were younger? This happened with me when I was younger. Did you revolt and say, I don't want to be nothing to do with the stage. I want nothing to do with production. This is beneath me. How, you know, I'm never home. Was there any thought in your minds that this business you didn't want to be in? And if there was, what changed it for the positive?
No, I got two kids at home. That's why this is the most amazing tour to be on right now. I get to hang with my kids quite a bit, you know, because Billy, you know, we do a few shows a month, right?
Sure.
But
Yes.
I can't really imagine going out now on a 5-week or 2-month riding in a bus tour right now. I don't know if I'd be able to leave my kids for that long. So I guess I'm kind of in that now, but what we're doing with Bill, it's perfect, man. Perfect. But
The country club tour is what I call it.
right, and the first time you left the kids at all, it was hard. So you get used to things, but that's my thought on that. That's it.
Well, I'll give you my thing. Like my dad would go out and like he played a lot of jazz and he played a lot of concerts with a lot of great jazz artists. But when the kids were born, he wanted to stay home. He didn't want to travel, so he would do weddings on weekends. He'd play weddings. And I remember saying, well, he played with T.Ë.T.I. He was on NBC on a Jack Parr show and all these great shows. I'm like, you're playing weddings? I'm like, when I was a kid, I'm like, that's beneath you, Dad. What the hell are you doing playing weddings? And I didn't realize, it took me a couple years to figure out. I'm like, he's going out and playing music. He's not, he's not driving a sanitation truck, which he was driving Monday through Friday every morning. He's going out and playing music with his friends and getting paid for it. I'm like, I did weddings for 19 years up until I started touring. I still did weddings up until about 6 years ago. I have a blast because I eat and drink on them more than the bride and groom. But I always thought, especially for young people, it's like sometimes you have that little switch. It's like, well, I don't want to tour and I don't want to set up drums for this guy. I want to be playing them, And I always thought that was the wrong attitude. It's like, hey man, I'm out. I'm not. I don't have to, go bust my hump doing, slinging garbage cans like my dad did. God bless his soul. I mean, that was amazing. So anyway, I just figured I'd throw that question out there to you guys. So for you, Lucas, it would be hard going out for full time because of your kids, obviously.
Well, yeah, like 5-week stretches and stuff like that. I mean, that'd be hard. I don't know. I'd probably try it, but that would be hard to do. This is perfect what we're doing right now, and can't be happier.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome.
For me, the only time I ever didn't want to do it was when I wanted to go to school.
Really?
When I actually went to school. So that was my big thing is I knew if I didn't go right after high school and stayed out and did this for a while, I probably wouldn't have ended up going to school.
Wow.
So I was committed to just going to school and seeing that through, and then I came back out afterwards.
That's awesome, man. Wow. Okay. Do you ever have any revolting? Did you ever revolt on like, I don't want to do this, Teddy? Did you ever think about this or?
I mean, it's hard on any relationship going away. I mean, I literally stepped out of high school and went on the road with my dad on the summer. June of 2001, I went out with my father, and I wasn't on the payroll or whatever, but I was helping. So, and then it gets you because you get to travel around in a tour bus, and then
It kind of sucks you in, yeah.
it sucks you in. And we've like not many people. I mean, we're a second generation here, so we actually had not many people in our industry know what it's like to be. I mean, your father was out a lot too, so we have this in common.
Sure.
But we saw our father go away and what it did to us at home.
Yeah.
And then we found the positives there, as in when he was gone, he was gone. And this was in the 80s. He was gone for like his longest was like 5 months, 6 months.
Long time.
Is that right? Long,
Maybe
long time.
Yeah, but when he was home, he was home.
Yeah.
We were with him all the time.
So,
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I just the relationships, the relationships that you have with people, and you lose touch sometimes, and just being away from home is the toughest part. So I can't see myself ever doing that back-to-back thing again. So
yeah. No, we're definitely spoiled, aren't we?
We are
Yes.
so spoiled, man.
Absolutely.
I don't want to do anything else, dude. I really don't.
we gotta figure.
We are so spoiled. Definitely.
That's beautiful.
We've always been spoiled. Yeah.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Steven, what else we got? And then we'll wrap it up because I know I know it's a busy day for everybody tomorrow, but I'm sure that we got some more questions, I would think, and some shout outs, right?
Yeah, had a couple people. We got somebody new to the show tonight. I'll mention Lena, who was named after the Billy tune, is hanging out with us in the chat tonight. Welcome to Lena.
It's all for Lena.
There you
Like
go.
Bummer's gone too.
So it's good to have new people here. If you are new, make sure that you always say hello in the chat, and we definitely like to keep track of everybody. Noah has a welcome message that he provides to everyone as the president. So
Does he?
No, not really, but I'm putting the pressure on. So let's see. We did have one from Elisa and Neil. I think this is our buddy Neil that plays one of your horns, Carl.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he says obviously the end result of what you do make the difficulties worth it, right, guys?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Without a doubt, Neil.
Um,
Hope you all's well, Neil. Cool.
yeah, and we had.
I'm gonna interrupt.
Yeah,
I got
please.
a very disturbing text from Wayne Chainsaw and Mark Snyder saying we need more Boomer stories. They're abusing me to abuse the Thrasher clan.
See,
I had one.
hearing those guys tell stories, it's really hard for us to do them any justice. So they know. It depends on what you want to know from us at home or on the road. They know all.
Give me a Christmas Boomer story, because I know he always would wear the Santa things. I can imagine he did something crazy at Christmas.
Well, there's a little story that we have this on videotape. He always had a video camera. So what, 85, 86? He had this video camera set up looking into our kitchen, and this was in our own house in Canada. But it was there all day. It was like for 4 hours just sitting in this one spot, and it must have been on the TV, but
Nobody knew it was on.
He was vacuuming. He was vacuuming and looking at himself in the mirror, and he was just dancing to himself, like digging himself. Yeah, I don't know. These are just memories that we have that we laugh and laugh.
Honestly, you should have brought Wayne here with us, because if Wayne's here, he can really get us going on the Boomer stories.
Yeah.
He's just got to say something.
Yeah, Wayne, a man at Wayne, he said he was going to call in, but his fingers are broke. His fingers broke tonight. What happened, Wayne? Your fingers are busted.
Well, Wayne has the information on how to call in if he wants to, but I did get another one. I got a text. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm pretty good at filtering out the chat messages that we may or may not want to answer. This one's a little bit vague. It's from Anonymous. It says, I want to hear what the best way to defend a treehouse is.
Urine.
Who would have that been?
That's you, dude.
Yeah,
That's good.
Who's the anonymous is what he's
Oh,
asking.
yeah, that's probably. I don't know who's did that. But
Well, because
do I
back
have
in
to
the
tell
day,
the story?
It's up to you. I don't know if it's appropriate or
No.
not. Go for it.
No, it is appropriate, but not really.
Perfect. Bring it on.
I was 5 at the time, so nothing. So my father called us every day
From production.
with all these guys hanging
This
around
is
that
the
we
80s,
work with.
right?
But he got a phone call from my mom one day telling him that
Teddy's peeing on kids in the treehouse.
yeah,
He didn't let any of the other kids up in the treehouse, so his defense mechanism was to urinate on them. And then
Why wouldn't it be?
Dad's on the phone in production saying, Ted, why you gotta be so bad? Why you peeing on kids from the treehouse? That's what you're hearing.
In production.
I guess I peed on kids from a treehouse, and everybody knew that from the production on.
There
That's
you go.
why I like you, Ted. That's why I like you.
Make good stories, man.
Resources, man. He's good at using his resources.
I didn't want to hurt anybody, so.
I actually had another question. It is related to Boomer. However, it kind of takes things the opposite way. Being on a tour with somebody that has, obviously based on the stories and the reverence that everybody holds for Boomer, what did you guys do, and how did you feel you had to proceed in your own career to kind of separate yourself, or to kind of escape the shadow that is obviously so large in the organization?
Well, I don't think being in his shadow is ever a bad thing.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
we, I don't know.
We're treading water in his wake.
Yes.
We're happy to be there.
Yeah,
We're
that's
hanging
awesome.
out, man. I mean,
That's a great analogy.
well, there's no. I always called him Dad. He everybody's in there in the production offices. Other tours, the production manager's away from the crew, so it's nothing to me to go in and talk to the production manager, who's my dad, as my dad. You know, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
You know, I never felt like I needed to get out from under him. I'm happy he had me out with him. You know,
And
yeah.
Beautiful.
There's nothing. I mean, I feel like I get satisfaction if I do a good job without him
Telling you how to do it.
or you know.
Well, no, that goes back to us finding our niche and the thing that we're good at. We take pride in the things that we can excel at, that he gave us the opportunity and the place to go excel at something.
He gave you the tools, and you guys built the house, which is amazing. That's the thing. You guys built the house with the tools that were given to you.
Well,
So-
my mom, when talking to my mom out on the road, like my dad, I mean, he does say he's proud of us and all that stuff, but my mom's like, oh, Dad says you're doing really well out there, Ted, or you know, so you know,
Yeah.
that's all we need.
Yeah. That's enough. That's beautiful,
That's it.
man. Ooh,
And
love it.
Mr. Jerry Fox is in the chat and kind of chimed in on this, saying, you know, Boomer never blocks somebody else from shining out on the tour. So
There you go, Jerry.
Yeah.
yeah,
And I will say, Jerry, it's good having you here, Jerry. And Billy's the same way.
Yes.
Boomer's the same way. Max is the same way. Mike Grizel is the same way. Pops is the same way. Everybody in the organization is the same way.
Yeah.
Meaning that no one's going to step on anybody else. They're gonna everybody has their own little thing. Man, it's great. You know,
Definitely.
everybody's good at what they do, so why would you step on somebody else's toes?
Exactly.
and that's the true sign of a leader, of multiple leaders, is having people, putting other people in again, giving them the tools to build a house. You know, and giving them free reign. Go get it done. You know,
Right. If you
go
hire
play a
enough
trumpet
good
solo. Yeah, go.
Right.
You know, go. You know, make this tour happen, man. You know, make this stage work. You know, make everything happen. And it's like, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Carl, along those same lines, we had somebody in the chat say, you know, from your perspective, you know, with your dad being a trumpet player and with your experience with Maynard and your experience with Billy, you know, what are the similarities that all three of those individuals had that helped you to become better at what you do? Because you've mentioned all three as being somebody that makes everybody around them better.
It's leading by example. Luke has said it best: is you know, we're treading water in their wakes. You know, you want to see. I think everybody wants to sit on shoulders of greatness, and that's okay. You know, and so seeing the way these men and women deal with adversity, and being able to laugh at yourself and not take yourself too freaking seriously. The Thrasher said it best tonight. We're there for it's fun, and when it's not fun, then it becomes a job, and that's no fun. So always having the fun element, but also trusting your instincts with people that they're going to do the right thing, and having the people there and giving them. Billy will give you enough rope to hang yourself. Maynard will give you enough rope to hang yourself. Boomer will give you plenty of rope to hang yourself. When you hang yourself, you're going to get ribbed many, many times. We've all gotten that rib. It's okay. That's part of the learning process. So I think a lot of that comes just from these guys lead by example. So, you know, hopefully that answered that question. I don't know, but you know, I think we're all very fortunate to have these people in our lives that we can look up to and aspire to. You know, if not, then just, you know, act like a moron, and hopefully your Zoom don't shut off in the middle of the feed.
That's great. Well, I know we're coming up on an hour 40 already, and I know that you usually have a couple questions that you like to ask towards the end. So you know, if you guys have anything that you want to get in last minute in the chat, you know, do so now. I'm watching here, and you know, I appreciate everybody that has put stuff in the chat already. If you're new to the show, the easiest way to find out about the new episodes is by subscribing to the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/fishmusic. It's FISCH music.com. Also, this does air live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Periscope. I think that's it. But so you guys are always able to.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's enough of Carl. So you guys are always able to follow along, and the YouTube channel has the archive of all the episodes, along with, I don't know, at this point probably a couple hundred other videos of Carl performing and playing and things like that. I know you love the word performing.
Mostly with my clothes on, yeah.
Yeah. But
Performing. I'm performing.
yeah, exactly. You're such a good performer. So, with that being said, guys, last chance to get some stuff in the chat here, and Carl, I'll let you take the last couple questions here that I know you got stored.
I'm just gonna lay it out for my brothers over here. Anything that we missed that you guys want to talk about? Because I feel like we've hit a lot of different things, but you know, I know we're gonna get off this thing and say, "Oh man, well, we should have mentioned this," or "What about this?" Is there anything that you guys want to rap about that we didn't touch on tonight, guys?
I'm just so grateful. I mean, everything. I mean, Billy. I mean,
Right?
our lives have been Billy taking care of the family. You know,
Yeah.
it really means everything. Like, he's been there our whole lives.
Yeah.
So,
Like literally.
literally our whole lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And without him, I could say that, you know, we wouldn't have what we have. You know,
Sure.
it means a great deal.
Yeah.
And
Including motorcycles. You know, it's one thing we didn't touch. We didn't
No.
touch on that. We all have this motorcycle fetish. All four of us. It's kind of
I finally
funny.
just sold mine.
Did you?
I
Well, you
did.
have two kids. You have two kids. I mean,
Right,
you were
that's
you were cafe racer guy,
Right.
weren't you?
You start going 30 miles an hour and freaking out. You think all the thoughts go through. Nope. Turn it right back around. I did it like 15 times one summer, went around the block. That was it.
yeah.
You were
Got
done.
rid of that thing.
Like,
And we used to ride a lot back in the day. I mean, Teddy, you had the Triumph.
Yeah,
That was a beautiful bike. You still got that?
I do not. I haven't ridden a motorcycle in a while either. I'm sorry.
I got
The main
soft.
time we were riding was when we had a whole truck designated for bikes.
I remember.
Everybody brought their bike out.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It was a wonderful. It was great, man. I remember that bobber you put together. You had a nice yeah, that was a cool
Just sold
bike.
That
Really?
was the one I was upset about about selling, because the other one was just a bike, but that one I built.
Yeah, you built with your hands. Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I stopped riding too, man. When I moved to Florida, I'd ride in New York, no problem. I was confident. I get
Right.
down here and I'm like in the left lane. I'm in the right lane, and some old lady decides she's going to make a right from the left lane. And
Right.
like, T-boned me. It happened like twice. I never laid the
scary,
bike
isn't it?
down, and then I same thing. I got in my head. I'm like, I can't. I just can't.
Yeah, it's
I rode in.
scary down there.
Yeah, it was just, and then I think, I don't know if, I think it was a Diana Ross tour. I rented a bike with a buddy of mine, John Scarpula, and we rode through the redwood forest and everything.
Oh,
and
nice.
I almost got T-boned there too. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I can't, you know.
Right.
But, oh yeah, we had the bike thing because, like you're right, we had a whole truck with motorcycles.
Yeah, Billy brought like 5 or 6, and then the rest of the truck, we all threw our bikes in there. It was
That
awesome.
was the Honda guy, right? Is he still
Yep.
the Gold Wings?
The Goldwing. Billy gave that to Dad. That 1975 Goldwing, I think. Yeah, he's still got that. He's still got that for sure.
I wish I had more. I wish I brought the pictures. I got a lot of funny pictures of you guys, but I also have your dad on scooters in Europe.
On scooters in
great.
Europe.
On
Nice.
scooters in Europe. I'm like, with a full face helmet on a scooter. I'm like,
Send those to us, man.
Oh yeah,
you're on a scooter.
one of those bike rides. Okay, here's a Bob Thrasher story. So Dad had that little 500 CX, right? And me, Gary Pratt, and
Me,
Ted, Mark Fafano, we were all out driving, and Dad was leading the pack, right? He kept on going like way too fast in front of us. And all of a sudden, he slows down to like 35 miles an hour in like a 55-mile-an-hour area, and we're all just kind of slowing down behind him. And I pulled up next to him, and he had the helmet with just the fender in front, and he's got a piece of beef jerky up under the helmet, man. We didn't pull over or anything. He stuck the beef jerky in there while we're driving down the road. That happened.
That's the Boomer story we should end with there.
There you go. I knew it had. There's tons of them. Just got to think of them.
Oh man, that's great. So, any last chance for romance on a fish heads thing, and then we'll just tie it up here.
Yeah, we had John Marshall. Well, first let me say, a couple other people said hello. Like I mentioned, Jay in the chat. Our buddy Josh Weeble is in the chat saying much love to the boys.
Joshy.
Hey, buddy.
James Skitka says, what a bunch of cool, well-adjusted, classy guys. Thank you guys for the great informative hang. Much appreciated. Best wishes again, and thanks for everything. Chainsaw says that Ted has downgraded his bike to the electric bird scooters.
Yeah. Even those are dangerous.
Yeah, those are dangerous.
those are more
too.
dangerous than the.
And then John Marshall's asking a drum question here for us. When tuning drums, who gets the final say on what sounds good, and is miking a part of the drum tech gig?
Miking is not part of the, not my responsibility. I know I'm there to check on it, make sure. My buddy Jay up there, he's the one to take care of all the microphones on the drum kit. And the final say, we got to make sure it sounds good. We're all in it together. So that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not the final say.
BR is the final say.
In our organization, BR might be the final say. Yeah, he's the final say.
Okay.
Yeah, because BR's the one out front mixing. If you guys don't know about BR, Brian Ruggles, he's been with Billy over 40 years now, front of house production, and he makes the stuff sound ridiculously good that nobody can.
Yeah, he's been doing it for ever, so he knows.
So, but like Ted said it best, we all have the same goals. We just want it to sound good, and we're gonna go. Everybody's has the same, goal intact. So we're all going for it. Mm-hmm. But BR's like, you'll hear him go, yeah, I don't know. That sound check, and like, okay, we're not gonna sound. We got to change something tonight. So
cool. We got Norman says you guys are awesome. Got people asking when part 2 of the hang is. Sandra,
guys want come back anytime.
Yeah. Sandra Snyder says love our Thrashers. See you guys next month.
All right.
Sandra.
So, and I think Carl, with that, I'm gonna say thank you to the chat, and I'm gonna close the chat with that one and turn it over to you, man.
Cool.
Uh-oh.
So, do we lose the boys? They might.
We're still here.
Oh, cool. Imaging Edge webcam. I like that.
Timed out.
Hey, you're naked, Jimmy.
Where the battery go dead?
I think he timed out.
Oh wow.
That's all right. We can still hear you.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
hey,
you know what?
Yep, sorry about that.
The camera
all right.
shut off there.
You have to have redundancy, Lucas.
Well, hey, we got tech support here, Jimmy Thrasher.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Yeah,
That's a redundancy. There's 2 cameras. It's not as good a quality, but it's there.
Hey, now we're fuzzy.
Hey, look at that. You got it together. I'm just going to thank Steven for putting this all together again. So thanks for
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
being a ringleader.
Yeah, man.
buddy.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you guys. It's always a good time.
And we can't wait to hang out again soon. I guess I will see the Thrashers and the rest of the bunch here in Austin, Texas, coming up. Can't wait for that. The end of the month. That should be fun. Teddy said he was going to race some cars, and Lucas and I were going to race motorcycles, and Jimmy was going to take pictures of everything, is what he said. But thank you guys for coming, and thank you for everybody for your questions and comments and beautiful sentiments. It's wonderful. I appreciate it, and I'm just going to leave this question out there for you three guys. Again, thanks for coming. What are you guys looking forward to here in the future? It could be as simple as walking your dog, or it could be as crazy as, you know, I want world peace. What are you guys looking forward to here in the future coming up?
More of the same, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
That works.
Yeah.
More of the same.
More of the same would be good.
He gets to spend time with his, you know, kids. I got my dog. I like golfing. Jimmy's home with us now during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank God.
Great being home.
All three of you guys in the same place is amazing, by the way.
Right, we're all one town.
When was the
apart.
last time that happened?
Yeah, we're all 15 minutes from each other, so we're all
When was the
here.
last time? 11 years?
Yep.
Is that how long you were
Yeah.
there?
I was gone for 12 years. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh,
That's
here.
cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
good, man. I love it. You know?
That was actually, to be honest, that was one of my favorite parts about going on the road for those 12 years, was that I got to go hang with my dad and my brothers
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
for, when we'd have shows when I was still in Boston. That was great. I always got to go hang with them and my other extended family, everyone else out there.
Yeah, we're all family, man. Well, that being said, guys, you know, guys, I dig the hell out of you dudes, and thanks for coming. Love you cats, and we can't leave without saying goodbye to Boomer. If it wasn't for Boomer and Susan, it wouldn't be the Thrasher Festival tonight. So thank you, guys.
Love you, Carl.
Thank you,
guys.
Carl.
My pleasure, man. You guys be well. Travel safe. We'll see you everybody soon. We'll catch everybody
Kenna.
soon. You got it.
All right, man.
We'll-
Thanks,
hang
Thank
tight
you.
for a second, guys. Thank you.
Got it.
Good night.
All right.